He posted a boomerang of himself drinking tea with the caption, "Patience is everything." However, back in court, things were about to get even wilder. The next witness, a former friend of Chrissy's protected by Jane Doe status, testified that Chrissy had allegedly confided in her years prior. Jane Doe continued by accusing Chrissy of justifying the secrecy by stating, "I couldn't risk him finding out. It would ruin everything." She was referring to an accident that resulted in a child, one Chrissy never planned to tell Jim about. The courtroom audibly gasped again. The judge banged the gavel twice. For the first time since the scandal broke, Jim reportedly looked up and stared straight ahead, his face unblinking. He feared the truth would destroy not only their relationship, but also their lucrative reality TV deals, endorsements, and public image as a couple. This wasn't just betrayal. The rumors outside the courtroom had turned into full-fledged media storms. Tabloids screamed headlines. The baby bombshell had finally exposed Jim Jones's darkest secret. The memes were merciless. One viral hit featured Jim's famous fly high video, caption changed to cry high. Another said, "Monis got young." While the public laughed, the defense, evidently shaken, argued that none of the evidence proved anything definitively. The alleged texts were taken out of context. The payments were charitable family support. The witness testimony was untrustworthy hearsay, and the devil horns were allegedly planning how to spin this into 10 new Love and Hip Hop episodes. Fans loved it. The courtroom was electric. Reporters frantically typed notes. Courtroom sketch artists captured every dramatic reaction. Fans outside were live streaming, hoping to catch even a shadow of Jim or Chrissy walking. The judge announced that more witnesses would be heard the next day, including a potential appearance from Mr. X himself, a former friend turned opportunist. The world waited for Mr. X to arrive and reveal the truth. For Chrissy to break her silence. For Jim to even recover from this. For Cameron's petty reign to continue. Jim stood slowly, pulled the hood back over his head, and left without speaking to anyone. Cameron trailed behind, wearing a sly smile that suggested he had one more surprise in store. The media called the court date Judgment Day for Dipset. Supporters gathered with placards that read, "Jim, blink twice if you're okay." Chrissy had a whole side quest, and Jim didn't even get the side mission notification. Then, as if the gods were in charge, unconfirmed news flashed across phones. Mr. X was on his way to New York to testify. The streets went crazy. Helicopters were airborne. Security was doubled. And the internet did what it does best. Made wild. Accusations and predictions. Day 3 of the trial was just hours away. As the sun set over New York City, the only question on everyone's mind was whether Jim Jones would lose not just his relationship, but his entire legacy. The fans didn't have long to wait. Screenshots dropped. Memes exploded. The world waited in suspense. The courthouse filled again. Influencers skipped work. TikTokers rehearsed their shocked expressions. News vans lined the block. On the third day, officially renamed the day Mr. X arrives, an unmarked black SUV pulled up. When the door opened, a tall, sharply dressed man in a navy suit and dark glasses emerged. The crowd gasped. Was this him? Was this Mr. X? Reporters pushed microphones in his face. He said nothing. He straightened his tie and walked into the building. Jim Jones sat silently in the courtroom, lawyers at his side. His hood was gone. His face was bare and exhausted. The judge entered, called for silence, and the final day of testimony began. Then Mr. X took the stand. The gallery leaned forward as if watching Harlem's hustler king fall apart. A moment later, Cameron walked in wearing a Dipset varsity jacket and a look that said, "I live for this mess." Gasps filled the courtroom. Mr. X, under oath and facing a potential murder trial of his own, confirmed he had known Chrissy for years, and their relationship had once been more than just friends. During a brief but intense affair years ago, Chrissy became pregnant and gave birth in secret. He claimed he respected her wishes but remained involved in the child's life, from a distance. The courtroom sat in stunned silence. Jim Jones looked up for the first time in hours and locked eyes with the man who now told the truth. Truth he'd hidden to protect their relationship and Chrissy's career. Mr. X then dropped the ultimate bombshell. He claimed to be the father of the child Chrissy had concealed. He whispered, "I gave her everything." He revealed that he and Chrissy had signed a private legal agreement to keep everything secret, including monthly child support payments. There was a document so confidential that even Jim's own lawyers didn't know it existed. And yes, the court had a copy. As the news broke, the crowd outside erupted. Memes exploded again. One post featured Jim Jones's Dipset chain edited, with the phrase "trust issues" instead of "diplomats." Inside, the defense scrambled. They claimed the documents were unauthenticated. They painted Mr. X as an opportunist seeking fame. They called it all a lie, a scheme to undermine a beloved hip-hop couple. But the damage was done. The court of public opinion had already issued its verdict. At lunchtime, Jim left the courthouse, swarmed by cameras. The judge addressed the elephant in the room. Though officially a civil dispute, the shocking evidence had now drawn state and federal investigators. Chrissy was nowhere to be seen. Cameron emerged, eating a hot dog and waving like it was a red carpet. Rumors of fraud, money laundering, and unreported child support funds swirled. Record labels began quietly pulling contracts. Reality TV, producers debated canceling or escalating next season's drama. By the end of the day, Jim's legal team requested an emergency adjournment to review the new evidence and prepare for possible criminal exposure. The judge agreed. The court would reconvene in 2 weeks, but the headlines didn't wait. Jim Jones, the hip-hop icon, claimed victory, but spiraled into crisis. Chrissy's secret child Bombshell threatened to bring down the Dipset empire. Of course, social media had its own take. A TikTok thread dubbed Jim the Tristan Thompson of hip-hop. Twitter debated if Chrissy had played the long game. Some fans begged for forgiveness. Others declared Jim was done. As the courtroom emptied, Jim reportedly stood alone, frozen, then walked out. Cameron allegedly laughed under his breath. The most dramatic courtroom saga in recent hip-hop history ended abruptly. But the aftershocks were just beginning. A bombshell drops. Don't get too comfortable, because this story is far from over. We want to hear your wildest theories in the comments section. Men thought he could get away with it, but I'm going to tell you everything. Fans weren't the only people reacting to the incident. Celebrities and business executives also had something to say. Many of Mendeecees' friends who had previously supported him began to distance themselves from him, while others turned to social media to express their dissatisfaction. His close friends' silence spoke louder than words. The once close-knit community surrounding Mendeecees. The more he denied the accusations, the more he seemed to be trying to conceal the truth. Mendeecees tried to project confidence as the story developed. He claimed in an exclusive interview that Tasha K's accusations were nothing more than a campaign of defamation, saying in a frustrated tone, "I haven't done anything wrong, and this is nothing more than a series of falsehoods propagated to damage my reputation." About Yandy, she mainly stayed silent and posted only occasional updates about her family. But supporters didn't let things go so easily. The scandal only increased public curiosity, and fans took sides in the ongoing dispute, making hashtags like ROI Team Yandy and Nar Team Erica trend. Some fiercely supported Yandy, while others sided with Erica, claiming that she had been the one who was treated unfairly. One headline read, "M's secret child caught Yandy off guard." Another yelled, "Erica Mina breaks silence on the baby scandal." Still, others who felt that Mendeecees had wronged her continued to defend him. There was a noticeable buzz among her fans, who knew that anything she possessed could completely alter the story, and might be enough to destroy Mendeecees' world forever. The people seemed to enjoy the way the story twisted with each new update. It was evident this had developed into a full-fledged media spectacle rather than merely a personal scandal. Then, Tasha K released another bombshell. She claimed to have additional proof that would definitively establish Mendeecees' deceit. Mendeecees and Yandy had to mend their broken relationship in the interim, with the hope that she would leave Mendeecees and find happiness on her own. Yandy supporters continued to support her, but many people secretly wondered if this incident would be the last straw. Time would tell, and fans eagerly awaited the next chapter in this never-ending story. Would Mendeecees have to face reality, or would he continue to deny everything? Would Yandy support her boyfriend, or would she find the resolve to walk away? And most importantly, although the answers were still unknown, one thing was certain. The drama was far from over. As public interest in the men's secret child grew, the media storm intensified, and fans were kept on the edge of their seats as new details about the ongoing saga emerged daily. Tasha K's videos, which became the go-to source for the most recent information, felt like an endless boxing match as she continued to give her fans sneak peeks at new evidence, leaving them all wondering what would come to light next. Meanwhile, tension between Mendes and Yandy reached a breaking point. Mendeecees tried to maintain as much of his reputation as possible, but his efforts were failing. The damage was already done. Regardless of how many declarations he made, his story was no longer believed by fans. In contrast, Yandy seemed to be putting on a brave front. Her social media posts were full of inspirational sayings and pictures of her children. She seemed to be focusing on her family. However, the two of them were rarely speaking. Their relationship, built on years of trust, was now deteriorating in public view. In one article, Yandy said that sometimes the strongest people are the ones who smile through the pain. It was clear she was in pain. Would she continue to live with Mendeecees, or would this scandal be the final straw? According to insiders, Mendeecees tried to arrange a public meeting with Yandy in an attempt to salvage the marriage. But Yandy was not amenable to it. Instead of meeting with him in public, she posted a message that read, "I have no time for games." Erica mostly remained silent during this turbulent time. She had only posted a few ambiguous posts on social media, leaving everyone wondering what she would do next. While some admirers believed she was waiting for Mendeecees to approach, others speculated she was preparing for a public appearance. It was interpreted by her supporters as her way of announcing the relationship was over. No additional information was provided, only a comment that left everyone wondering if Yandy would permanently leave Mendeecees. "It's not just about a baby," Tasha said in a dramatic tone. "It's about deceit, manipulation, and treachery." In any case, Erica had managed to maintain an unexpected level of composure. The drama in her life was getting worse. After everything seemed to reach a peak, Tasha K made her most shocking admission to date in a live broadcast. She revealed that Mendeecees had been secretly giving money to Erica for years, even while married to Yandy. Yandy had not been aware of the double life that Mendeecees was leading behind her back. Fans were shocked. Having a secret child and an affair was one thing, but financially supporting Erica while married to Yandy? That was too much for many. Fans turned their attention to Mendeecees' alleged private life. The story quickly went viral on social media, and Mendeecees supporters started to question his moral character even more. How could someone who claimed to have grown and changed still lead such a dishonest life? Yandy's supporters were furious and flooded her social media with supportive messages, telling her to permanently leave him. One fan wrote, "Queen, he's not worth it. You and your family deserve to be respected by someone." Nevertheless, Yandy's silence spoke louder than words. Despite the calls from many to leave, she hadn't taken any public actions to distance herself from Mendeecees. Some people thought she was waiting for the right moment to leave. Others believed Mendeecees was trying to make amends behind the scenes, saying she would stand by her husband no matter what and was trying to protect her family. According to those close to him, he was doing everything he could to patch things up, even going so far as to hire a relationship counselor. Was it enough, though? It seemed like Yandy was more determined than ever. Despite everything she had gone through, this was worse than anything she had ever experienced. Was the trust destroyed, or could she truly forgive him for this? The circus was growing larger. Tabloids published exclusive insider reports about the affair and the secret child, claiming that Mendeecees had been leading a double life for years, juggling his marriage to Yandy and his affair with Erica while trying to maintain his public image. The chaos intensified with rumors that Mendeecees was trying to patch things up with Erica by asking her to live with him and the family. With each of Tasha K's films appearing more spectacular than the last and now receiving millions of views, fans began dubbing her the Queen of Gossip. However, some critics began to question her motives. Had Tasha K gone too far in her pursuit of clicks and views? Some admirers claimed Tasha was becoming too entrenched in the attention and crossing moral lines to gain traction. Despite the criticism, Tasha seemed to enjoy the spotlight and promised even more shocking revelations in the days ahead. In the meantime, Mendeecees' once close friends had been noticeably silent. On Love and Hip Hop, none of his co-stars had stood up for him. Fans wondered, did they avoid him to avoid the consequences? Or had they known the truth all along and chosen to stay quiet? Mendeecees was now fighting on all fronts. His family, marriage, and reputation were all on the line, and it seemed like things were getting out of control. The drama didn't seem to be slowing down. Every new revelation made things worse. The entire plot now centered on Yandy's decision. The Globe eagerly awaited the next shocking development in this never-ending drama. Would she stay with Mendeecees or move on? Would she continue to defend her family? The turmoil surrounding Mendeecees, Yandy, Erica, and Tasha K only grew worse. Every new piece of information seemed to fuel the fire, and the public demanded more. Updates. The media's constant scrutiny of Mendeecees' every move seemed to be undermining his attempts to salvage his relationship with Yandy. Yandy was fighting an emotional battle behind closed doors, and even their children seemed to be affected by the ongoing conflict. According to family sources, Yandy wondered about the future of her marriage and whether she would ever be able to trust Mendeecees again. In contrast, Yandy remained composed despite the public criticism. Her silence became more and more revealing, despite not making any significant public decisions regarding her relationship. Meanwhile, Erica had mostly stayed out of the spotlight following Tasha K's shocking revelation about the secret child. However, there were rumors she was preparing to make a big announcement of her own. Would she speak out or stay silent and let the drama unfold? As fans speculated about her next move, the tension surrounding her only increased. Tasha K, the provocateur, was not content to watch the drama unfold. She teased her viewers with promises of even more shocking truths, continued to drop clues in upcoming videos, and her audience waited impatiently for every word. As her channel's popularity soared, she reveled in the confusion. Each video she posted only deepened the drama. Tasha K revealed in one of her most recent films that she had discovered even darker secrets about Mendeecees' past. Do you think the controversy surrounding baby mamas is bad? She asked her audience with a curious tone. Mendeecees' image in the field suffered, and it seemed that his old acquaintances and co-workers were moving away from him. His character was now being questioned by several of his former supporters. Wait until you find out the truth about his previous relationships. The skeletons in that closet are starting to surface. Fans were eager to hear what she had to say after her remarks rocked the entertainment industry. Had the man been hiding even more shocking information, or was Tasha K spreading more sensationalized rumors to her audience? Others were more understanding. The general perception was that Mendeecees struggled to turn his life around. At the same time, Yandy's silence was becoming more and more noticeable. Although she had not publicly separated from Mendeecees yet, it was clear that the relationship was irreparably damaged. According to those close to Yandy, she had been seeing a lawyer, and some even speculated that she might be considering a divorce. Many of her admirers believed it was the only option. The whole situation escalated when Mendeecees posted a mysterious statement on his Instagram. He said, "I can't take back the harm I've caused to those I care about.